Okay. Hold on. This dude's going crazy with the BMX bike. How are you doing this? Come back over here. This man literally just like flew across the street. Somehow, like, look, what in the hell? Let me try. Hey, wait, come back. Let me try. Let me try. If he's not modding or she's not modding, then this is the most insane lit BMX bike person I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, let me try. Let me try. How did you not die from that? Come back here. Come back. Damn it. I missed. Okay, yeah, they have to be modding. There's no, you can't just do that. I can't hit them. Oh, no, no, chill. Woo! I want the bike. Mine now. Mine now. Ah, you got run over. See ya. It's mine. Look, I can do tricks too. Woo! See? Skills. All right? Skills. Get your bike jacked. Sucker. Yeet. Oh, damn. All right, let's go. They're shooting at us now. All right, it's not a game anymore. It's not a game. What's up, ladies? See, right over them. Right over them. You like that? You like that? Could have hit y'all in the face with this, but I didn't, okay? You think they're going to catch up to us? I see them still running down the street back there. Can we land on the car? Hold up, hold up, hold up. Come back. I've never actually tried this. I just realized. I've never tried to, like, surf on a car with the bike. Oh, we went over it. Oh, oh! Oh! Damn you! No! 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 Come back! Oh! My bike! My bike! All right. That's cool. Can I get a bike somehow? Can I, like, request? About to go off the radar and sneak up on this fool. You think we can call a mugger after them? Hold up. Maybe the mugger can hit them off the bike, then we can steal it. I gotta get a little tactical here. All right, hold up. Is this gonna work? Please work. Please work. Come on back over here. You know, they like showing off, so they're gonna keep, like, riding the bike around us. And I guarantee if they stop over here trying to show off for long enough, the mugger will pull up and grab them. Okay, well, they're on top of a roof right now, so it's gonna be really hard for the mugger to get them. I'm gonna tell them to come over here. Yo, Merezi, come over here. I wanna check out the bike. Let's see if they listen. Oh, whoa, whoa, oh! Ah! Who the hell are you? Bro, you got people from different dimensions teleporting to jump people? That's insane. That's just taking it way too far, way too extra. I can get a bike? Where can I get one? I gotta order a bike. I don't have time for that, man. You think this is Amazon Prime? Come on, man. This dude's obviously modding. Just spawn me one. I want to steal theirs, though, to be honest. Hold up. You want the smoke? Huh? Oh, damn. I should have done that in the first place, to be honest. Wait a minute, exactly. Why did I not think of that in the first place? And if they're not modding, how did they die so easily? I'm getting sniped now. The dude got out the truck and he just shot me. And then I got run over by an NPC just to rub it in. Like, you're dead and also the game hates you. Dude, he's going to snipe me. I got to go off the radar. Oh, he's looking. He's looking. We gotta move. The bike. He's back on the bike. Kill him first. Special delivery, bish. All right, now for the bike. Oh, if I would have got him with that. Hold up. Yeah, land on the car. Land on the car. Who's shooting at me? Ah! I don't need somebody teleporting from another dimension and shooting me now. Oh, they're shooting me on the bike? Dude, there's got to be some kind of like weird way to ride the bike now that people know how to do that I don't. Got him. Wait, he's not dead. Okay. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. My bike, punk. My bike. Let's go. I think this person's actually maybe not modding. They're just the way they were moving. They have to be modding. Oh shoot! I don't have any health. I don't have any health. Lily, Stacks. Oh, screwed. Run! I'm getting used to it. My excuse every single time. I'm still off the radar. Wait, I'm still off the radar. My bike! Okay, we just killed each other. How did I not kill them when they crashed? All right, whatever. Where's the bike? Yeah, this is the person that was trying to kill me before. Oh, shoot. I can't see. Damn it. The cars are in the way. I got him. He got up. Why am I not just shooting a rocket over here? He's next to a wall. Die. All right, there we go. There they are. There they are. Hold on. Oh, shoot. I'm out of ammo. Ray gun. Come back. Oh, shoot. Oh, no, 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 no. All this for a BMX bike. It's the principle of the matter, all right? It's my bike now. I want it back. Yes! Gotcha! What? You teleported! Woo! Wait, that person's back from the other dimension! Dude, I see them. It's that guy from the other dimension. He's back. It's right there. This is getting out of hand. Where's my bike? Holy hell. Hold up. He has the bike now. He has the bike. How did you not die from that? He's trying to run me over. Focus on the bike, bro. It's the bike. Get the bike. The hell's wrong with y'all? Ah! This is insanity. Oh! Okay, we have a Duke of Death, that one dude that was in the truck before trying to kill us. We have, yeah, that guy, somebody on the bike, and then we have the person that I don't know if they're modding or not, who owns the bike, trying to everyone's trying to kill us. I gotta move, okay? Sniper rounds. There's sniper rounds coming from left and right. I don't know what's going on. Okay, this is bad. Get in cover. Get down. Run, jump, move, go. Okay, we're getting sniped at. They're back on the bike. They're coming over here. There's people everywhere. I don't know who's friendly. I don't think anybody's friendly. Yeah, that's right. You see how I timed that?
Double kill.
Nice try. Yes, that's 3 kills. Go for 4. Go for 4. Come on. How come I can't kill it? No, the bike. The bike. No. No. Damn it! The bike! The bike! The bike! Why? All right, well, fun's over. All right, where you running to? Where? Oh, damn. Thought I was going to go over it. Where you running to? Come back here. Come back here now, son. Give me this car. I'm going to get sniped before I can get in it. Yeah, this guy just Mr. MLG in first person. Doing the whole sidestepping. I see you, bro. Man's over there like, okay, there he is. I see him. Hold on. Okay, wait. Oh, got him. Sniped him. The hell do you think this is? This isn't esports, man. It's just Grand Theft Auto Online. Oh my gosh, hold up. Look at this. How are they doing that? They got another bike. I just realized that. It's another bike. Yeah! Oh, no, I killed him just as I got sniped. That bike's gone, by the way. I think I just destroyed that bike, too. So that's 2 bikes that I've destroyed. And this fool keeps coming after us with the sniper rifle. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call Lamar. I'm going to call a Mugger after him. He's sniping everybody. Look at the kill feed. Try hard mode. I can't call a Mugger. I have to wait 1 minute and 25 seconds. All right, then I'll be the Mugger. Give me a damn helicopter. I'm going in. You know what? F that. Give me the remote control tank. I'm going in. Hell yeah. Try to stop this, bish. All right, let's go. Let's do this.
Later that same evening.
There we go. Okay, you gotta be polite. Okay, wait, what the hell? All right, and now I can't move, so no tank. I can't move. I can't do nothing. What the hell's going on here? I can't even move. It's glitched. I can't do anything. Perfect. Great. Just perfect. Just perfect. Okay, well, we're just gonna sit here and wait to die, I guess. Perfect. Look at that. Awesome. A rocket just flew right past us, killed somebody on a scooter. We're still alive somehow. Someone's shooting at us. I don't know how you're missing your snipes when I'm not even moving. I can't move the camera. I can't open the menu. Bro, just kill me, please, so I can move, please. Okay, go ahead, then. Go ahead. Wait, so that's the guy that teleported from another dimension? He's that dude? I thought that guy was in the truck, or is that the same person? I am so confused. Why are they not killing me now? Like, so now that I'm not moving, you guys aren't even... Okay. Someone tried to hit him with a submarine missile and missed. Now that I'm frozen and I can't... Oh, I'm glitched. They can't kill me. They can't kill me. I'm glitched. So I tried to get into the RC tank. It didn't work. And now I'm just invincible, but I can't move or do anything. I mean, honestly, this is kind of a good way to end things, you know? Like, they can't even do nothing. All right? Good luck trying to kill me now, guys. That's right. Look at that. Can't do nothing. Go ahead and try. Oh, yeah, you just gave up. Well, since I can no longer do anything, but I am invincible, I think I'm going to wrap up the video here. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. That's all from me. And until my next video, I will see you guys when I see you guys. Peace. Leave me some suggestions and some comments down below. I'm back.
Let's remember that Paul George has three options. One is to re-sign with the Clippers. He can opt into his contract and get traded by this weekend.
Hopefully, this offseason we find a way to get better and, add some pieces.
The Clippers are playing an incredibly risky game with Paul George, and the craziest part is there's a chance they win, but at what cost? Paul George is without a doubt the crown jewel of this year's free agency class. He's a player whose skill set can be literally used on each and every team in the NBA. He's the prototype at the shooting guard / small forward position, and the Clippers are not budging with their offer. So before we get to the content, we are on the grind to 1 million subscribers. Make sure you subscribe and turn on our notifications to help us get there. And now that we get all that out of the way, do the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? As a Los Angeles Laker fan, I like to remind Clipper fans that they really didn't have much of a choice but to trade for Paul George in 2019. I know it's a tough pill to swallow. Kawhi Leonard is fresh off of winning a championship. He's trying to decide between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Los Angeles Clippers. He tells Steve Ballmer and the Clippers that if the Clippers trade their entire future for Paul George, then he will sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers didn't have a true star since the Lob City Clippers featuring Blake Griffin and Paul George a few years prior, and Steve Ballmer desperately wanted 2 new stars. Acquiring Paul George and Kawhi Leonard without a doubt makes the Clippers the team to beat in the Western Conference. So the Clippers did what they were supposed to do in this particular instance. They traded Danilo Gallinari, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 5 first-round draft picks, and 2 first-round pick swaps for Paul George. Doc Rivers even tried to warn Kawhi Leonard that he thinks Shai is going to be pretty good one day, but Kawhi Leonard picked Paul George. And immediately, the Clippers became favorites in the West. So how did the Paul George Kawhi Leonard era go? Well, in year 1, they were the favorites to come out of the West, especially when you have 2 of the best two-way players in the entire NBA on your roster. There's no question about it. But the Clippers would make it all the way to the Western Conference semifinals, getting a 3-1 series lead versus the Denver Nuggets. 1 game away from facing off against the Los Angeles Lakers in the Battle of Los Angeles at a neutral site in the Western Conference Finals. Do you know, as a Laker fan, how badly we've wanted this? And right when they were this close to getting in, they choked, blowing a 3-1 series lead to the Denver Nuggets. The very next year, they would make it to the Western Conference Finals, but Kawhi Leonard would get hurt and the Clippers would lose to the Suns. The very next year, Kawhi Leonard would be injured and the Clippers would just make it as an 8th seed. They would make it to the play-in tournament, but wouldn't make it to the playoffs. But we at least got Patrick Beverley's famous meme-worthy celebration as a member of the Timberwolves, vanquishing his old Los Angeles Clippers team. The very next year, both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard would suffer from injuries in the first round of the playoffs, and the Clippers would lose 4-1 to the Phoenix Suns. And this past year, the Los Angeles Clippers went all in once again, trading for James Harden. And unfortunately, by the time they made it to the playoffs, they weren't at full strength once again. Kawhi Leonard would get injured, and the Clippers would lose in the first round once again. Now you have Paul George in this weird situation. He's entering free agency, and he never really had the opportunity to play with this team at full strength in the playoffs throughout his entire career. But regardless, the Los Angeles Clippers decided to pay Kawhi Leonard a 3-year, $152 million max extension, but they're expecting Paul George to take a pay cut to remain with this team. And the number one question is, why would Paul George do that? You're playing in Los Angeles, California, so you're pretty much taking a discount to play here to begin with, because there's a 12.5% state income tax. But on top of that, the West is incredibly deep. The OKC Thunder, which was the rebuilding team that you gave up all your assets for, finished with a better record than you, and they're only going to get better this next year. They already traded for Alex Caruso, and we made made a separate video on that. The Denver Nuggets just need to fix up their bench depth. Who would have thought that Bruce Brown and Jeff Green would have made such a huge difference for them in the playoffs? That's a pretty easy fix. The Minnesota Timberwolves have done what they needed to do so far in order to make sure that they can remain competitive this next year, and that's retain their general manager Tim Connolly. The Mavericks made it to the NBA Finals. Phoenix Suns are a big three, just like the Los Angeles Clippers are. The Los Angeles Lakers, I think they're a dumpster fire. I love my Lakers, but I think they're a dumpster fire. The Pelicans are looking to make improvements. The Rockets could swing a trade for Paul George. The Spurs have Victor Wembanyama, and the Grizzlies were without Ja Morant this past year. But you could go to the Eastern Conference, where the New York Knicks, who are interested in Paul George, were the number 2 seed this past year, and the Philadelphia 76ers, who are always coming up in the Paul George discussion, might be interested as well. I mean, just look at Joel Embiid attempting to recruit Paul George.
What does that have you thinking about as a member of the Philadelphia 76ers?
I can't stand them. I can't stand them. I hate Boston. Great city, great fans. Obviously they got some great players, but he hurts me a lot. So hopefully, this offseason we find a way to get better and, add some pieces. And yeah.
Can I ask, how the is this not tampering? I mean, look at what Paul George had to say about Joel Embiid before this.
Stop him. He's too big, he's agile, he can shoot, he can step out from the three-point line. He's just a big body. He's our generation and our version of Shaq. There's nobody we can put on Shaq.
Right.
Bro, there's nobody you can put on Joel. You put a big on him, he's gonna go around him. You put a small on him, he's gonna punish him. He plays the big spot how big is supposed to play.
He got a nice step back.
He got it all. He doing the Euro. Like, what big man got the Euro down?
He's funny, too.
And he's funny.
Yeah, he's in it.
I'm a big fan of Joel, man. We got a good relationship. Every All-Star, we chop it up. We got to get the big fella. We need a bigger seat.
I personally thought this was hilarious because everybody's been linking the Philadelphia 76ers to Paul George. But just a few days ago, Shams shut that down, tweeting the Philadelphia 76ers' interest in pursuing Paul George has significantly waned in recent days, and the franchise is expected to be aggressive elsewhere with its salary cap flexibility and draft capital leading into next week's NBA draft. Now, why would they say this? Well, maybe they were worried about the Philadelphia 76ers getting hit with some tampering. Maybe Shams was doing a quick favor for the 76ers, or maybe there's a much more attractive situation for Paul George. You see, the Clippers could have easily signed Paul George to a contract extension up until this point. They could have maxed him out, and isn't that the norm? Every time you have 2-star players on your roster that are worthy of maximum contracts, you max them without any questions. But in the case of Paul George, he really only has 2 options. He could either take the discounted offer that the Los Angeles Clippers are giving him, or he can opt in and try to force a trade elsewhere, or of course, once free agency starts, he could just sign with the team off the bat. But what team would have the cap space to completely max out Paul George? The unfortunate reality of Paul George's situation is the fact that there's a brand new CBA. So you can't just assume that these players are going to get maximum contracts right away once they hit free agency, because there's now a brand new apron. So before there was a first apron where you can't exceed $178.7 million. If you exceed this, then you're not allowed to acquire a player in a sign and trade or use trade exceptions. You're not allowed to take more money in a trade. You're not allowed to sign a player waived during the regular season that had a pre-existing salary of $12.9 million or more. And you're allowed to use a trade exception created from a new trade. And you still are allowed to use the $5.2 million mid-level exception. But the second apron's a completely different ballgame. If you exceed $189.5 million, you're not allowed to acquire a player in a sign and trade. You're not allowed to use a pre-existing trade exception. You're not allowed to take back more money in a trade. You can't aggregate contracts to combine for one salary in a trade. You can't send out cash. You can't sign a player waived during the regular season that had a pre-existing salary of $12.9 million plus. You're not allowed to sign and trade your own free agent if the incoming salary exceeds the second apron. You're not allowed to use a trade exception created from a sign and trade. You're allowed to use a trade exception created from a new trade, but your 2032 first round pick is frozen if a team finishes the 24-25 season over the second apron. Meaning the days of being able to sign players like Paul George to max level contracts is over, which also makes it more competitive for Paul George's services, which means if Paul George wanted a new team, most likely scenario would be what Brian Windhorst is saying here.
Let's remember that Paul George has 3 options. 1 is to re-sign with the Clippers. 2 is to enter enter free agency and go somewhere else like Philly or Orlando. 3, he can opt into his contract and get traded by this weekend. That is something that is going to come to a head in the next day or two if he wants to go with that option, because obviously you'd have to negotiate a trade, and then the team wouldn't necessarily need salary cap space. So the Paul George sweepstakes is going to come to a head, at least that aspect of it, faster than those other players who are going to be free agents like Klay Thompson or DeMar DeRozan. So Paul George has a different menu of options, and we're going to see some action in that probably coming up, very quickly after the draft.
Which means Paul George and the Los Angeles Clippers are in an epic game of chicken. You see, the Clippers are basically daring Paul George to leave. They think he's bluffing. They haven't been willing to meet Paul George's price, and he remains unsigned. So if Paul George changes teams, he's going to have to opt in and request a trade. But the Los Angeles Clippers believe that Paul George would rather remain in Los Angeles than to jump over to New York or Philadelphia. After all, that could also be a reason why Shams said that the Sixers' interest in Paul George is waning. But let's say Paul George does want to leave. Then what are the teams that are most likely to trade for Paul George? Well, I have 2 teams in the East and 1 team in the West that would make a lot of sense. The New York Knicks have stated that they are incredibly interested in acquiring Paul George. And personally, I'm very confused about this because they just traded for OG Anunoby. They're letting OG Anunoby hit the open market. And this is why this year's free agency is going to have a lot of drama. It's no longer a conclusion that you're going to max out any player that hits free agency as a result of the salary cap. But there's obviously going to be some overpays. According to Mark Stein, another trusted source has advised me to keep the Knicks on the list as a potential trade suitor for Paul George if the All-NBA swingman indeed opts into the final season of his current contract at $48.8 million. That step would position George to push for a trade to another team. In this case, I'm assuming that the New York Knicks would probably match salary by trading Julius Randle. Is that an improvement for the Los Angeles Clippers? I don't really think so. But if there's anything that the New York Knicks proved to us this past year, is that they don't really necessarily need Julius Randle that much. Of course, we mentioned the Philadelphia 76ers. They were our top spot all season long. It just makes too much sense. Paul George could slide in a position of need for the Philadelphia 76ers, be that 3-and-D player that the Sixers need, contribute significantly more than Tobias Harris did, and potentially help Joel Embiid win a championship. But probably my favorite target for Paul George and my favorite team for Paul George is actually a team in the Western Conference. It's a place where he wouldn't be taxed nearly as heavily either. It would be the Houston Rockets, and this would make the most sense not only for Paul George, but for the Los Angeles Clippers as well. You might be wondering, Mike, why the Houston Rockets? Wouldn't Paul George want to leave the Western Conference, if anything? After all, I listed a bunch of Western Conference teams that are definitely going to catch up to the Los Angeles Clippers or even exceed the Los Angeles Clippers this upcoming year. So why would Paul George want to opt into his contract and go to the Houston Rockets? Well, for one, there are the aforementioned tax reasons. Paul George would go from a 12.5 state income tax bracket to no state income tax. That's more of his millions that he gets to keep while playing for the Houston Rockets. But in addition to that, the Houston Rockets have stability in the head coaching position via Ime Udoka. They're a team filled with young, talented players like Alperen Şengün, Jabari Smith, Jalen Green, Fred VanVleet, and Paul George would slide in seamlessly at the small forward position. And probably the most important part about this is the Los Angeles Clippers really don't have much of a choice here. You see, for the Los Angeles Clippers, I could understand wanting to keep on to Paul George. You have this brand new stadium that Steve Ballmer's creating that is going to set the standard for basketball experience in the NBA. And don't get me wrong, this brand new stadium looks insane and I can't wait for it to come out, although I probably won't be allowed at the wall because I'm not really going to be cheering for the Clippers. It solves a huge problem for the Clippers because typically when the Clippers would play the Lakers at Staples Center, we all know that more often than not, fans are rooting for the Lakers. It's absolutely revolutionary and I can understand why Steve Ballmer would want a competitive team for when that time came to be. But at this point, holding on to Paul George just makes you look desperate. I mean, he's 34 years old. You could trade him at the peak of his value and you could get a pretty nice return for him. In the case of the Houston Rockets, they have Jock Landale, Jayshawn Tate, and Jeff Green that they could aggregate in a trade, and they have a bunch of young players and Dylan Brooks that they could offer in a trade as well. But even more importantly, they have a plethora of draft picks that they can trade to the Los Angeles Clippers, which would at least allow the Clippers to see a light at the end of the tunnel. The Clippers currently are stuck. They're in purgatory. They have no choice but to compete because outside of 2025, 2027, or 2029, they do not own a draft pick. And even in those years, those draft picks are also pick swaps with the OKC Thunder, because up until 2030, they don't have draft control. I mean, yes, in 2025, 2027, and 2029, their picks could be swapped. In 2025 and 27, the OKC Thunder could swap picks with them. And in 2029, it's going to be the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't think you guys understand how screwed the Los Angeles Clippers are, because they currently have an outdated team in form of a big three with James Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard. They're trying to underpay this big three and force Paul George into taking less money so they could keep the big three together. But even if the big three remains together, there's a huge question of whether or not this team could compete in the West. You could trade Paul George to the Houston Rockets and you could get draft picks for the future, but even then, you're kind of stuck in this funky situation with Kawhi Leonard and James Harden on your team, and a team that's more likely to make it into the play-in as opposed to actually competing for a championship. But probably the most bizarre scenario in which Paul George gets traded is another team in the Western Conference, in a situation that is eerily similar to the situation that he's in with the Los Angeles Clippers. You see, the Golden State Warriors have been in contract discussions with Klay Thompson all season long, and it's a huge game of chicken between Klay Thompson and the Golden State Warriors as well. But if Klay Thompson decides to opt out and join a team like the Orlando Magic, then the Golden State Warriors would be in a situation where they could trade for Paul George because they would no longer exceed the second tax apron. In a trade for Paul George, I'd assume that they'd give up Gary Payton II, Chris Paul, and Jonathan Kuminga in return for Paul George. But the issue here is whether or not Paul George would actually move the needle for the Golden State Warriors. Would you expect that many extra wins from the Golden State Warriors by swapping out one of your franchise cornerstones in Klay Thompson for Paul George? Well, Paul George actually plays defense, and he actually shot better from three than Klay Thompson this past year, averaging 7.9 threes per game and converting 41% of them from three. This would be a sizable upgrade from Klay Thompson, who chucked up 9 3-pointers per game and only converted 38.7% of them. Not to mention that Paul George would actually play defense, but the stinger here would be the fact that the Warriors would get a little thinner as a result of giving up Jonathan Kuminga. But needless to say, the Golden State Warriors are already looking for trade packages surrounding Chris Paul. Maybe this does happen. The sad thing is I believe when the Los Angeles Clippers are fully healthy, they are one of the best teams in the West. At least that's what they've shown us in the regular season. The unfortunate part is it seems like no matter what they do, at the most pivotal point each and every year, Kawhi Leonard gets injured in the playoffs, or Paul George and Kawhi Leonard gets injured for the playoffs. And they were hoping that James Harden could mitigate some of that damage this past year, but it didn't really do much. Now this team doesn't have any draft control until the 2030 season. They're in a situation that's very reminiscent of the 2013 Brooklyn Nets. Even if they were to retain Paul George, this big three is in their mid-30s right now. Their best basketball is clearly behind them. This isn't the Miami Heat big three or even the Boston Celtics big three. This is more like the big three of the Houston Rockets in the late 1990s with Hakeem Olajuwon, Scottie Pippen, and Charles Barkley. So at the end of the day, the Clippers don't really have a choice, because no matter what they do, they're collectively screwed with Paul George. All they can hope is that they successfully call Paul George's bluff and he returns to them on an undervalued contract, which would be amazing if they pull it off. But given this team's history of making transactions, I don't know how confident I feel in this team. So let me know in the comment section down below if you're a Clipper fan, what would you like to happen? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.